Hi, it's Reed Floren, and I've got my friend Chris Lee on the call. Chris, are you there?
Yeah. Hey Reed, how you doing?
Pretty good. And yourself?
I'm doing great.
Good. So, for those listening that don't know, can you tell us a little bit about your background? What got you interested in internet marketing?
Actually, Reed, before I started internet marketing, I was actually an online entrepreneur. Tried to start three previous internet businesses, but they kind of all didn't work out. So one of my business partners actually pushed me onto internet marketing, and I took a look into it, and I actually saw that there's a lot of potential, and there's a lot of things that I like to do. Like I'm a very people-oriented person, so going through networking and working with other people is something I really like to do, and that's what really drew me to internet marketing. As well as the freedom to work wherever I want to do or wherever I want to be, and then as well as follow the niches that interest me the most.
Yeah, and what niches are those?
Well, I like doing the internet and making money online niches. That's something that's always interested me. I've always had, as you can tell, when I started my previous internet businesses, that's something that I really tried to be successful at. And I think this is a brand new start that I've had, and I'm really excited for it. And then also a lot of offline niches, but I haven't yet to decide which ones I really want to get into at the moment.
Well, you've been working on something lately. I think you've been doing a lot of branding stuff. Can you tell me a little
Right.
bit more about that?
Yeah, I'm working actually on a new course that's not really been seen around the internet marketing niche. It's a branding course that allows people to create trust between themselves as well as their subscribers and their members. And it's pretty much a step-by-step course on how to create a brand from scratch or how to improve one that's already existing, and it's how to make it effective. Because a lot of people that I tend to talk to, they think a brand just is your logo and a tagline, but it kind of goes a little more than that. It's more along the lines of creating a relationship with your customers and creating that trust so that you'll actually be able to get some more sales off and get better conversions because people will be trusting your word based on the content that you put out. You'll get more recognition and more loyalty, and you'll actually get an image of quality. People would associate your name and your brand with a high quality products and services, and you'll actually get that image of experience and reliability, so people actually see you as an established, well-known authority.
Now, how would someone go about doing that? How does someone, let's say someone's starting out and they don't have a brand built up, they don't have any reputation yet. How would they go about building this brand for the first time and creating that rapport with their list or their customers?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's mostly about getting your name out there. That's one big thing. The internet's a huge, vast space, and it's basically the same as starting a brick and mortar company. You just got to get your name out there, and when you get your name out there, you just go through a process. Like you try to give. I would always say under promise and over deliver. What you want to do is always give more and give back. And you, like I said, you just want to create that trust with your subscribers and your members. And I go through the process with this project where you go step by step into creating your brand based on values that are most important to you. And then when those values resonate well with your customers, there's a little bit of a connection. It gets a little bit personal. And when you think about it, people are more loyal to brands than they are products. I mean, for example, if you just do like computers, Mac has or Apple has a huge following, and it's just image of better quality, of better aesthetics based on just the regular old PC.
Sure. Now, I think you've boiled it down to like 5 different steps, correct?
Yes.
Can we briefly touch on what those 5 steps are?
Yeah, sure thing. The first step actually is your initial brand assessment. It's how, if you have something that's already established, say you have your logo and your tagline, and you're trying to establish yourself as an authority, what this assessment goes through is it allows you to see what your current status is and lets you know what you need to improve and what other steps you need to take to create that relationship between you and your customers. And the second step is actually creating your own personal brand. This is where you get your values and everything that relates to you so you can resonate better with your customers. And the third step is creating your identity. It's pretty much how you want people to view you, you know, saying, you're trustworthy and, high quality content or whatever it is that you want your customers to view you as, a high ranking authority, etc. And then the fourth step is to create a customer experience, something that's unique, something that's different and not just visiting your site and just seeing something that's that everybody else sees. It's something that resonates with them. So when they visit your site, it's something that they're like, oh, I'm visiting Chris's site or Reed's site, and it's something that's really important to me because we have the same mindset, we have the same goals, something like that. And the last step is actually implementing those changes. It goes through some steps that helps you get those things done and gets those certain communications out so it resonates with your brand and so that people can see what you're all about.
That sounds pretty cool. Now, I guess another question that I'm kind of curious about is, let's say someone's already established. Would they just start with the beginning and start with step 1 and go through all 5, or do you have a different philosophy of what they should do to maybe resurrect their brand, or maybe they haven't really been branding themselves at all, but they have some sort of business online? What would you suggest for them?
Well, if you have an established brand, I would go through step 1 just to see where you're at and how many of the components that are outlined through these 5 steps that you have actually gone through. And you can always make it better. You can always adjust it because sometimes people have unfavorable, like I wouldn't say identities, but like unfavorable, experiences with some customers. So you may or may not have some bad reviews from previous, products or services, and you want to change that. And for example, you want to say you want better customer service, and that's what you want to keep hammering home as the point that you want as the main focus. And going through the whole 5-step process will help you change your brand from an unfavorable identity to something that's more favorable. So you can either adjust to something that you want your customers to view you as, or you can just improve on the one that you currently have.
Definitely. Well, I mean, branding is often overlooked by a lot of internet marketers, and I'm really glad that you've put together a product on this because I know how important it is. When I go to seminars or when I see big product launches, it'll be guys like Mike Filsame or Frank Kern, and the whole room will just flock to them and buy their stuff. Where someone else that's lesser known and not well branded has a hard time selling something. So it's really interesting to see that in action. It happens online, it happens offline, it happens all the time. So I'm ecstatic that you've actually put this together. Where would someone go to actually get your product?
Well, at the moment, I'll make an announcement for the launch on my website at www.system300.com, and it'll also be available on the Warrior Forum.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Chris. Thanks for being on the call, and I really appreciate you sharing some of your tips and strategies for branding with these listeners, and I think anyone who's starting their internet business or already has something going and they're not having the success that they want really needs to check out your course. It's 5-Step Branding Blueprint. Is that what it's called?
5-step branding game plan.
5-Step Branding Game Plan. So you guys definitely need to check that out and buy Chris's product.
All right, thank you, Reed, for taking the time.